welcome you to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and on the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. And it's the Suns to start out. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the floor for San Antonio, defensive-minded Green and Leonard are the wings. Aldridge out there with Duncan, and it's Parker in at the point guard position.
And one thing that Phoenix had for them last season was depth. A very good bench, and they provided a good scoring punch when called upon.
That one's good by Aldridge. Here's Bledsoe. Outside Knight. And no good as it rattles out.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
Here's Duncan. It's hauled in by the Suns.
Yeah, good tough D there to get a hand up and force that miss.
That's example number one of why he is such a strong defensive player and why he has such a great defensive reputation. A good open look, and he splashes home the three.
Parker against Bledsoe. Parker kicks to Duncan. Outside Leonard. Shot clock at 5. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Kawhi Leonard, with another great season last year, earned his first Defensive Player of the Year award with his outstanding play.
And for Leonard, he became the first perimeter player to win one since 2004. That just shows you how incredible his defense was at times.
Here's Duncan. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Duncan's got his first points in this one.
He had his head on the swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
It's Knight with the drive. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
And you know, for Leonard, you can add that Defensive Player of the Year award to his hardware list, and that puts him in elite company, one of only 3 players to win Defensive Player of the Year and Finals MVP. The other 2, Jordan and Olajuwon.
Catching up on the changes for Phoenix. Alex Len's checked in for Chandler. Luer comes in for Morris. Warren's checked in for P.J. Tucker. And Sonny Weems sub in for Eric Bledsoe.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
And for Leonard, winning the Defensive Player of the Year didn't change him at all. I mean, he received the car for winning that award and gave it to charity. Went out of his way to thank his teammates during his acceptance speech. I mean, I think it speaks of his character and really the impact that Popovich has had on him and that entire Spurs team.
Diaw, the screen. Here's Mills. 3-pointer. And Diaw with the basket on the assist by Mills. Diaw's got himself on the board with 3 there. The Suns have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Leonard against Knight. And the rejection by Leonard. And it is good at the buzzer. Wow.
Nice shot there without a second to spare.
You know, as a defending team in that situation, it really irks you to give up a shot like that to close out the quarter. You know, oftentimes those end-of-quarter points can be the difference in a ball game.
Tyson Chandler, known for being a great teammate, very vocal leader certainly. He talked about how important that is for an NBA locker room.
Players do the policing. Coach sets a standard, but players individually call out other players. You know, whether it be timeout, whether it be halftime, whether it be pulling guys to the side, you know, in practice. When you have that going on, you see multiple guys doing that, that's when you know you have a good team.
Don't you need a player like this, a caliber and character, Greg, to make that kind of a teamwork, have that feel in the locker room, that leadership role that everybody believes in and respects?
No doubt about it, Kevin. And that weighty stature is built on experience and credentials, as you mentioned, like having that championship ring or being an all-star. But when you have it and use it that way, the coach doesn't have to worry about the locker room because Chandler has got that covered.
Welcome back, everyone. We're ready to get going again as this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports continues. Players are topped off with Gatorade, hydrated, and ready to get going again as well. And taking a look at San Antonio's performance here, what do you think they've been doing or not doing?
It's been a great display of team basketball here thus far. 5 guys, 5 fingers working as one. Just beautiful team basketball on display for these guys.
On the court for San Antonio here in the second. The always reliable Parker and Green in the backcourt. Boris Diaw is out there with Ginobili. And it's Aldridge in at the pivot spot manning the middle. Weems, good, and Bledsoe gets the assist.
And one thing that everybody loves about Coach Pop is his frankness. You get a taste of it in interviews, but he's as honest and straightforward with you as he is with anybody else.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. Well, you've got Greg Popovich, and I think he puts this at times grumpy demeanor in a more of a spotlight. He's playing along, as we all know, with the sideline reporters. He knows, Greg, you know this firsthand, when to turn it on, when to turn it off. He can be as compassionate a person, Clark, that you and I have ever been around.
Yeah, he's competitive, but he understands that we're all human, and he treats people the right way all the time.
In for Len, and it's Price in for Sonny Weems. Tim Duncan, he's checked in for San Antonio. And we play just over a minute of basketball here in the second quarter. Parker against Price. Shoots from the right block. Again, the miss by the Spurs. And so here's Phoenix. Dishes to Bledsoe. Chandler is screen. Bledsoe with now Green defending. Price against Parker. Spurs passing it around. Duncan kicks to Parker. That's good, and so Duncan with the assist.
And, with Tim Duncan, there are no flaws in his game. He's even become a good free throw shooter now. He's averaged 76% from the line the last 3 seasons after being in the 60s much of his career.
And here is Morris, following the three-pointer by Tony Parker, and he misses his first shot of the game. 52 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Pass to Green. Duncan outside. Now the feed to Parker. 5 on the clock. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. That's good. Going back to Duncan's improved free throw shooting, Greg, it's really changed how you play him now at the end of games. If you foul him now, it becomes one of your worst options.
And, that's a sign of a true warrior. You don't want to show any weaknesses in battle. So Tim went out and turned one of his biggest weaknesses into a strength.
Here's Price following the basket by LaMarcus Aldridge. From 12 feet out. And the shot falls short this time. Outside, Green. And it's San Antonio with another.
As a defender, you always have to stay on your man's hip. If you don't, that's what's going to happen.
So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Spurs lead by 7. And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. Tony, you guys have done such a great job defensively as a team tonight. How did you game plan for this one, and what's been your approach?
So we
just try to slow them down. They're a tough team to handle inside. They have great players, so we just try to double, triple, and control the boards.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys at the table.
Thank you, Doris, and we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be taking a look back at a pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. They never trailed by more than 3 points, and it was neck and neck the entire period. In the second quarter, we began to see what they're capable of when everything starts clicking, as they pulled out to a 7-point lead by the end of the half. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how San Antonio played?
Well, in terms of running a smooth, efficient offense, they've been as good as it gets. The looks they've created have been high percentage. The ball is moving, guys are rotating. That's what got them those good looks, Ernie. And this is the reason they got that nice lead.
And Kenny, what are your thoughts on Phoenix?
I'd really like to see them attack the rim a little bit more. Change the game up, man. Generate some more easy baskets. Part of the reason they're behind is because they've been outclassed inside. They haven't been able to drive the ball, dish the ball. They need to pound it in the paint more if they want to win this basketball game.
And that's going to do it for now, as the second half is almost ready to get started. Back to Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K Sports crew. We're going to sit right here and wait for the end of the game and talk at you again.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. Antonio leading by 7.
And the Spurs last season became the first franchise to hire a female assistant coach. A big step, not just for the Spurs, but really for all of the NBA.
Bledsoe and out of the backcourt. Tucker and Morris holding the forward spots. And it's Chandler in at the center, locking down the middle. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Suns. Bledsoe dishes to Tucker. Bledsoe against Green for the 3. No good from Bledsoe. As Greg was just talking about, the assistant that was hired was Becky Hammond, a phenomenal player for a very long time in the WNBA. And Clark, you know, you and I were talking about this before. She was a perfect candidate to become the first full-time female assistant.
Yeah, I agree with you, and it might not seem like that big a deal to some, but this was a big-time barrier breaker that the Spurs pulled up.
And guys, remember, LaMarcus Aldridge last January suffering a torn ligament in his thumb, scheduled to undergo surgery and miss 2 months of the season, but he opted to tough it out and keep playing. And boy, how big was that for the Blazers?
All right, now, gentlemen, truth shot. Truth shot.
First free throw is good. And Aldridge postponing that thumb injury surgery, even though they said it might double his eventual recovery time.
Yeah, I think it's pretty admirable that he was out there because he wasn't just playing in pain. He was playing hurt. That shows you his commitment to winning.
Here's what Phoenix has got going on right now. Lenz checked in for Chandler. Mirza Teletovic comes in for Markieff Morris. And Warren subbed in for P.J. Tucker. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. The San Antonio Spurs, a team that has had such a strong core and is so disciplined, Clark, it's hard to see them struggle, even think of them struggling, even on the road.
Well, you know, last season they did have trouble at times on the road, but 22-19, still not too bad.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
Here's Aldridge. Sweet little floater. Aldridge has got the lead up to 9 now for the Spurs.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agility.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up. Agility leads to thievery there as he's got his hand in there to get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
And Clark, that's been the story of this game so far. I mean, they cannot hand over any more easy points in the open floor.
And first time out of the game called for Phoenix.
And for the Spurs on the road, it wasn't the scoring. They were so good at home, but scored 8.5 points less per game on the road. That was the biggest margin in the NBA.
Switch here. Weems is checked in. Boris Diaz checked in for the Spurs. Ginobili comes in for Parker. On defense, San Antonio. They've only allowed 2 points so far here in the second half. Len, a screen. Weems passes to Len. Shot misses. Now San Antonio takes it the other way.
Boy, it's been a long time since the Spurs had a losing record on the road, so there aren't any concerns for them. I mean, they've never had a losing road record since Tim Duncan was drafted. Wow, that's back to 1997.
Here's the three. Televich's shot is good. Televich has got his first 3 points of the game.
He just sagged off just enough and no hesitation on his part.
Leonard, that's for 2. And it's San Antonio with another.
Just Mr. Reliable again here today, Kevin. I mean, they need his points, and he's producing.
Leonard with the steal. And oh, here we go with Leonard. Nobody back. No luck. Suns trail by 10. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Now, here's Warren. Defended by West. And Televich kicks to Weems. Lots of room. Mills with the rebound. Pass to Leonard. And he takes the fantastic lead pass up strong for the slam.
You know what? That's what you like to see. A perfect pass leading him right into the shot. Didn't even have to break stride.
And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. It's San Antonio. They lead by 12. We'll get right back to the action when we return.
Check it out.
Underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup. We'll see how much things change up here. Phoenix shooting from the field, 44%, not bad. On the court right now for the Spurs. Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Kawhi Leonard is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Duncan in at the center position.
Really good job there. That's the definition of the inside-out game.
Spurs leading by 10. Duncan, a screen. Parker Chandler dishes to Duncan. Outside Leonard. Duncan with the screen for Leonard. Off the pick. And Chandler sends it back. And he gets it back. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. Knight with it. And he was fouled on the way out. 2 free throws now for him.
That's his first personal foul.
And a closer look here at the hustle stats for the Spurs.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And the other thing they've done since the beginning of this game is score points off turnovers and in bunches.
Hits them both.
Probably as close to a sure thing as you can have at the free throw line.
San Antonio leading by 8. Parker kicks to Aldridge. No luck. Now the Suns take it the other way. And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. Bledsoe kicks to Knight. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Knight.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. Terrible turnover.
Morris is checked in for Phoenix. San Antonio calls timeout. They're leading by 8. 1:57 left in the fourth quarter. Up with Doris from the sideline.
Guys, thank you. I got a chance to hear what Greg Popovich was saying to his team. His message, I don't want us patting ourselves on the back just yet. We can congratulate ourselves after the final horn. Right now, we need to go out there and take this one home. Guys?
1:57 left in the game. Aldridge left side. Pass to Duncan. Uses both hands to slam it down.
Flush that thing down, young fella.
That is a fierce two-hander.
Maximum force on that dunk.
Timeout called. The Suns, they're down by 10. We've got 1:48 left in the fourth quarter. got 1:48 left in the fourth quarter. And Tucker kicks tonight. To the wing right side. Some nice ball movement here by the Suns. 6 to shoot. Feeds to Morris. Leonard against Knight. Empty that time from Leonard. Spurs leading by 10. 1:16 left in the fourth. Parker passes to Leonard.
Leonard having a good one. He's got 8 points, and he's been a good on-the-ball defender, too. He's got a pair of steals.
Yeah, he's just made a lot of very heads-up plays, and his defense really has been a difference maker.
And the first one at the line is good. Bono Ginobili, he's checked in for the Spurs. Free throws good from Kawhi Leonard. What a year for the Suns in terms of transactions. Started the season with Dragic and Thomas on the roster and moved them both, Clark, at the deadline.
And, you know, most folks saw the Dragic trade coming after his disagreements with the team. The Thomas trade was a bit of a surprise, though.
And there's no doubt about this one. Playing with a lot of confidence tonight. It's a statement victory for San Antonio.
The coaching staff must be happy that they controlled their turnovers so well in this game.
Yeah, I like the discipline, the self-control, and the patience, Kevin.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Kawhi Leonard. Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in.
Bledsoe against Parker. Parker with the steal. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Ginobili outside. Parker a screen on Knight. And Ginobili. Here we go. Chandler with the block. Fast break. Here come the Suns. Knight wide open. And he sinks that one. Hitting the back of the rim on the way in. There's 10 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Now here's Parker. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Yes, guys, I'm here with Tony Parker, and congratulations on this win. What was working in terms of the team's offensive flow?
I think the ball movement was great tonight, but I think the main thing for us is to play great defense. Defensively, we have to be at our best, and everybody has to help, and I think tonight we did a great job.
You were certainly on point, Tony. Thanks for the time. Gentlemen, back to you.
Doris, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our entire 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Kawhi Leonard.
He shot over 50% from the field in the game, a testament to how hard he worked to always find the best look possible. He was in constant motion. He found those gaps in the D and made the most of his open looks.
Well, he showed us just how good he can be when he's at the top of his game. And the building was stunned. You saw people leaving early, throwing popcorn, throwing hot dogs, spilling soda. He put on a CSDP, a crowd shut down performance. Man, that's what I'm talking about, Ernie.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.